We have already gotten the 1 p.m. numbers from the National Hurricane Center, and actually we've been on for a long time now because we've covered a tornado warning that was issued around the Houma area. We haven't heard any reports of damage or anything, and in fact Paul just showed us a scene from very close to there. So of course it's windy, but we're not seeing really tornado warnings in effect at this point, although there is a little bit of rain band activity, of course, around Houma and eventually Thibodaux. Let me show you those winds, by the way, really quickly, and then we'll jump into our Laura forecast just for a little bit more here for those of you joining us at about 1 p.m. for the advisory update. Winds right now are sustained about 20 to 25 miles per hour, especially south of the lake. Here are our most recent wind gusts. Port Fourchon has been showing up to about 40 mile per hour wind gusts and now adjusting to 36. We've seen 37 mile per hour gusts at the Kenner Airport and around Houma, and we are expecting that wind to continue into tonight and even tomorrow. A wind advisory was issued today, and this is standard. We do see this from time to time. This just means, of course, we'll have the strong winds with gusts up to about 45 miles per hour. So keep in mind, even if you're a little bit more removed on the North Shore or something like that, of course, it's going to stay gusty probably through tomorrow evening. So it's 1 p.m. For those of you who might be tuning in really quickly, let me get you the latest on Laura. The latest is that it is a Category 4 storm. It has winds of 140 miles per hour, 130 miles per hour, starts Category 4, and once you get to 157 miles per hour on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, that's a Category 5 plus. So Category 4 storm, Hurricane Laura, gusting up to 155 miles per hour right now. Movement is unchanged to the northwest at 16 miles per hour, and the pressure is now down to 952 millibars. The center of the system about 200 miles south-southeast of Lake Charles. And of course, Lake Charles is going to see some big impacts later on tonight. This is the forecast path, and thankfully you saw those models, if you've been watching us over the past few days, come into really good sync, very good consensus, showing that a big high is building in to the eastern part of the Gulf of Mexico. There's an upper trough and kind of this weakness area around the high is where Laura is going to be moving. So the turn to the north is expected as it gets a little closer to land. So the landfall tonight will probably be very close to either kind of the Sabine Pass area right near perhaps Beaumont, Texas, just off to the east of there perhaps, and then it will continue to the north during the day tomorrow. It could have winds of maybe 145 plus miles per hour at landfall for the maximum. Sustained winds, higher gusts possible. So that would be overnight tonight for the landfall over there in southwest Louisiana. We've talked about its curve off to the northeast and then to the east as we get into the middle of the week. So our impacts in southeast Louisiana are still very close to what we've said over the past couple of days. The update today is that this coastal flooding, which is, as we've said, probably going to be the biggest and especially most visible impact that we have as far as the storm surge coming up tonight and then maybe staying high through the day tomorrow before easing a bit on Friday by the daytime hours perhaps. The coastal flooding would be 4 to 7 or so feet, as you heard Paul say too. And that would be from the Mississippi River and especially over to the west. I've shown you that graphic showing 15 to 20 foot storm surge expected for southwest Louisiana. Rita brought 12 to 18 feet of storm surge there. So really something to gear up for, and you know, it's called unsurvivable, the big standout word in the discussion from the National Hurricane Center, unsurvivable storm surge, they say over there. So for us, it will be a bit more manageable, but certainly something to contend with for those of you along the coast. 4 to 7 feet, a few tornadoes possible, windy conditions. I showed you the wind advisory. Rain will really be dependent on the rain bands. Some of us may only pick up just a tiny bit of rain, maybe if we have a passing shower or two. Tomorrow, I think more of us will get some rain associated with it. And then if you're off to the southwest, if you're around Houma, if you're over toward Baton Rouge today, there is a higher chance for some of those bands to wrap in. And the higher amounts here would be under a rain band if that did happen to set up. So some of us may not get all that much rain today and maybe some pretty manageable amounts tomorrow, but we'll be concerned under some of those rain bands. And there is a flash flood watch west of I-55. And we'll be watching for a few more of those isolated spin-ups of tornadoes, which could happen as we get into this afternoon and even this evening. So that'll do it for now. Leslie?
Alexandra, thank you so much. So the biggest news, Hurricane Laura is now Category 4. That'll do it for us at noon. We'll be right back here with another weather update on Hurricane Laura at 4 o'clock, and then we'll see you at 5, 6, and 10. Stay safe.